Download this code and get free GPT-4o from codegive.com, link in the description below. Java RMI, Remote Method Invocation, is a Java API that allows for the invocation of methods that reside on different Java virtual machines, JVMs, potentially on different hosts. When we want to run an RMI server in a Docker container, we need to ensure that the server can communicate with clients, which may be running on different machines or containers. Overview. In this tutorial, we will cover the following topics. 1. Setting up a simple RMI application. 2. Creating a Docker file to package the RMI server. 3. Running the RMI server in a Docker container. 4. Configuring the client to connect to the RMI server. Step 1. Create a simple RMI application. 1.1 Create the RMI interface. Create a file named helloservice.java. 1.2 Create the RMI implementation. Create a file named helloserviceimpl.java. 1.3 Create the RMI server. Create a file named rmiserver.java. Step 2, Create a Docker file. Create a file named Dockerfile in the same directory as your Java files. Step 3, Build and run the Docker container. 1. Build the Docker image. Open a terminal in the directory containing your Docker file and run. 2. Run the Docker container. Run the Docker container with the following command. Here, we're mapping port 1099 of the container to port 1099 on the host. Step 4, Create a client to connect to the RMI server. Create a file named rmiclient.java. Step 5, Compile and run the client. 1. Compile the client. 2. Run the client. Important notes. Ensure that your Docker container is running and accessible from the host. If the client is running on a different machine, replace localhost with the IP address or hostname of the machine where the Docker container is running. If you encounter security issues, consider using a security policy file for RMI. Conclusion. In this tutorial, you've learned how to set up and run a Java RMI server inside a Docker container and how to connect to it from a client. This setup is useful for testing and deploying distributed Java applications in a containerized environment.